Where's Elnathon is?
In a dark room.
That's obvious, thank you. Old man cave, maybe? Nothing in Nagina.
It's definitely. Yep, there we go.
Pendant Skull Woods, red crystals at Meyer, and Tomorrow. Which I think means desert is our green pendant, if I saw that correctly. That map check, correct me from that. I'm quite bad at map checks. Matt heading into Hera as Plumeria is going to get his items out of Mini Moldorm Cave. There's the big key in Hera basement, so we're not immediately locked out of Hera today. And okay, no, Zelnathon is actually independent in a dungeon somewhere, considering he just picked up a small key.
It's the Dark Cross.
Dark Cross. Okay, yeah. I was like, where is that?
Because now that's actually the part of Hyrule Castle going through the sewer system.
Yeah, okay, yeah, now I see it. I'm gonna have to pay attention to their pause menus whenever they do that to see if they got anything while the restream was down. Okay, Matt does seem to have picked up Quake from somewhere. Old man, perhaps?
Perhaps it's more likely the Old Man Cave, if anything.
That's my guess.
Jump.
Yep. Okay, oh, there it is. Ice Rock Cave. Never mind.
Okay, Ice Rock Cave it was.
Doesn't look like Matt picked up much of anything else, though. We are about to see what's an Old Man from Plumeria, which was just some rupees. Yes, Zelnathon does indeed have Palette Shuffle on. Really nice looking Palette Shuffle, too. I like this coloring of blue and purple overworld here.
And now we're heading over to the... I was about to head over towards the Old Man Cave, as Matt has knocked down Boulder. I'm going to get the first pendant here.
Yep. Yeah, it's too bad you can't pick your palette shelf. You never know if you're going to get something nice or something. Yep, it's definitely a bit hit or miss. Neon green and purple was memorably awful on the eyes.
And this Death Mountain looks very nice too. Nice, like,
it does. Nice. It's gray, but I kind of like the gray coloring here.
Yeah, it does look nice. The gray coloring does look really nice. It almost looks like it's like the normal colors, but it's like very like drab in terms of like dry of color, right?
Yeah, it's kind of been washed out a little bit. Oh, hey, there was a bottle in Spectacle Rock. I think that's our third.
That was our third bottle, yes. Spiral Cave only having 3 bombs.
Also for our trackers, Meyer and Swamp are red crystals today. Our pendants actually aren't too bad. Desert, Hera, and Skull Woods. And we're gonna see Paradox Cave here from Matt.
And from out of Paradox Cave, we find a heart piece, or heart container rather, and a shield. And from the top 2, if we're going to go by the way that the positioning is set up, and the bottom 5, again, based on positioning. And we find 20 rupees. Never said 20 rupees. Another set of 20 rupees.
Funny.
A heart piece. And a heart piece.
Funny, Paradox Cave, funny. That was pretty. So, Death Mountain. Having the most notable item on Death Mountain was. But, yeah, pretty dead, so. Which makes me wonder where these runners are going to go next. No Moon Pearl. Yeah, they have Hammer Glows. They don't have Moon Pearl, so they can't really go to the Dark World. I expect we might see an Eastern Palace play soon.
For sure. I definitely see Eastern Palace in the cards right now.
Not a lot else to do in Logic at the moment, I don't think.
We have Zora, that is in Logic,
Oh,
but
yes.
not Zora Ledge or the Waterfall of Wishing. Especially not now because we don't have our Moon Pearl, and by then we would have Dark World access. We do have Sashra's Hut and an Eastern Palace.
Yep. Currently, all of our runners are just retracing each other's steps. Matt going to clear out the front of Escape. Xenophon gonna pick up his Quake here in a moment as Koi and Plumeria continue clearing a rather useless Death Mountain.
Yeah, Death Mountain didn't really pay out much in terms of the Light World. We'll see what happens when we come towards the Dark World, though.
Mm-hmm. Xenophon going to grind up some rupees, perhaps thinking about Zora here. He's at 499. Or they are at 499, pronounced. We'll see if this pays out.
Yeah, this is going to be a fake flipper over to, more likely a fake flipper over towards those flipper checks, and also do Zora. But you'll also get to see Zora Ledge, but again, we don't have access to the Waterfall of Wishing because we still don't know where our Moon Pearl is.
No, we do not. Also, South Shore is a little bit confusing for me in the palette shuffle because the ground, like the shore itself, was this kind of dark green that you normally see from the water in the Dark World in that exact location.
Yeah, it kind of does look like the Dark World, like water almost. It's like Mountain Dew, like that Mountain Dew, like that green water that some country does during St. Patrick's Day. I forget which country or city that does it.
I don't recall either. Nothing on Hobo. And Matt will be the first of our runners over to the eastern area, has 3 items in the back of Saha's hut and a few more in the eastern. Odds are pretty good. There's gotta be something of progression in here. Likely the Moon Pearl.
Sahasra's hut, 10 arrows, and our Moon Pearl.
Alright, there it is. There's our Moon Pearl. Matt choosing to not go into Eastern is just going to head for the Dark World at this point. Going to take the portal south of Link's house.
And now Xenophon is going to head over towards that Zora area while Matt is going to be the first player into the Dark World.
Okay, let's see if it's actually hype.
Probably not. And also, because Palette Shuffle is on, there's also the case where certain tiles get shuffled differently.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of their palette, so it kind of looks very blocky. So out of Hype Cave, we've got 100 rupees. 20 rupees.
20 rupees.
Cane
Cane
of Samaria.
Sword and the heart piece. As we see, nothing on Zora. He's a scam, as per the usual.
But that's not a bad Hype Cave, all things considered. A solid 6, 7.
Yeah, Cane and a sword are very much worth that. 100 rupees is not bad to have either, although Matt has plenty. Boy finding nothing in backup escape in is gonna leave as Plumeria is also in the Dark World now. I have no idea when he picked up his Moon Pearl, but is also getting his cane and sword. Nothing on Stumpy.
Matt gonna go and check out K45. Which is just 10 arrows.
Yeah, it looks like Plumeria Knight must have done the eastern area at some point and done Saha's hut, since they do have their Moon Pearl. I'm assuming during the time when it went down, as Koi's also back to get his Moon Pearl, while Xenophon is unfortunately going to lose a couple minutes going through Hera here, finding nothing of note.
Matt gonna check out the race game while he's over towards the dig game.
They went to Saha hut about 20 seconds after Matt. Okay, got a little. Wasn't looking in that direction. Oops. Let's see what's on dig game. Lots of digs today.
I mean, not too surprising given the dig game. Usually it's around like the 10s, 20s or so.
I think this one was 16 digs for just some more money.
So Matt is going to go and mirror towards the light world. Going to look at the library, which is just a heart container like we previously mentioned, and definitely now heading for Kakariko. Going to make a stop for the village of outcasts.
Mm-hmm. Only going to getting his sword and cane. Plumeria going to go through a rather useless run of escape as Xenophon finds out Hera's useless. Really dry start so far.
So Matt is gonna go. Alright, so he's gonna head over towards the village of outcasts. Makes sense, in my opinion, at least. We will need that fire rods, which means it can possibly show up on Skullblades, like vanilla, but it can't be on Mafula.
No, since Skullwoods is a pendant, Turtle Rock is a crystal, so they will need that fire rod.
Right. And that's the more important thing. Well, yes, Skullwoods is a pendant. It's important to note that Turtle Rock is required for this case because it is a crystal. So it's possible to show up there. Those are bow.
Oh, Brewery has the bow. That's useful. Eastern Palace is now clearable.
And so is Pod.
Yes, it is. Would be a little, They have enough health, because they have been picking up plenty of health and not a lot else. And a heart piece in the Sea House. Plumeria is making his way over to Catfish as Koi follows Matt over to Village of Outcasts. Brewery more like the Bowery.
No.
Nice one.
No. Please, no. Alright, Matt is gonna go into Thieves Town. And there's our Titans mitts.
Ooh, mitts in Thieves Town.
French vanilla mitts in the first chest of Thieves Town. As we see Polarian Knight going to check out the catfish. Just 3 bombs, though. Ooh, Polarium Knight is actually trying to do a splash delete to get over there.
Don't see this too often. Is not having much luck with it, unfortunately. What does it mean to have a French vanilla item again? It means that you find an item in the same area as where it would be in vanilla, but not in the exact same chest. Vanilla being that it's in the exact same location as it usually would be. So in this case, myths are normally in thieves, but in the big chest. Today they were the front of thieves down instead, so kind of vanilla.
Yeah, it is in a vanilla location, but not the vanilla spot where it's supposed to be. And in that case, if it was vanilla, we'd be asking if this was randomized or not.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem, Liz, Beth VR. Well, Mara unfortunately going to find out that Zora is a scam. Probably getting his bow and... Right, going to getting his bow shortly, and Xenophon... heading for the eastern area.
So they will get the Moon Pearl.
Yes, and then we'll also head to the light world, dark world I expect. Unfortunately is gonna be close to 8 minutes behind Matt in getting the Moon Pearl, and is gonna be a little bit behind as a result.
And Xenophon is going to get their Moon Pearl now, so they now have Dark World access.
Yes, they do, as you see just some arrows in the Attic of Thieves. Well, he's also picked up his mitts, and Plumeria is gonna be close behind them both, heading for the portal right now. And, Xenophon seems to be heading back towards the CAC area as well.
Going for the Village of Outcasts play, so they will be getting the Titan's mitts there.
Yes, will unfortunately miss out on their Master Sword and Cane for a little while longer.
I mean, when you think about it, once they get over towards that Hype Cave area, probably after the Smith Chain, they will for sure be getting that Cane and Master Sword. So it will come eventually, just not now.
Right up pretty nicely the Smith Chain, just to compass the Thieves' big chest. Yep.
Okay, Sarah, you got me there. Going to take the money on a blind date.
And that is an interesting Skullwoods palette, alright, from Xenophon. Skullwood's looking rather purple today.
Yeah, it's like the normal like colors for the like sides of it, but like the ground is purple. Also a nice like orangey color for the floor here.
Reminds me kind of Halloween, actually, is the first thing that came to mind seeing that palette.
I mean, to be fair, it is kind of like the Halloween style like map. There's a fire rod off of Blind for the first blood at 2907.
And it's just gonna head on south here. Chloe continuing through Thieves. Plumeria is also going to do some Skullwoods here. Finds the flute in the Skullwoods big chest.
So with that actually now opens up the Mire area.
Yes, it
but we have.
does.
Go ahead.
And we have. There's a 2/3 chance of being able to open up Mire right now.
But the only thing about that is that we don't have a way to get into Mire. We need a boot. We need the boots or the hook shot for that.
Alright, yes, they can enter, but they can't do anything in there. Well, they can get in the door, I suppose. No boots or hook shot. No, that's the thing. Matt going to do Smith Chain. And we're heading for, I think this is Graveyard Ledge here.
Yep, going for the Graveyard Ledge play here. Actually, interesting because Plumera could get his Titans mitts right now.
Yes, he could, as you see just some money on the Smiths. Xenophon taking a death in Skull Woods. I think that was a purposeful death for it.
I believe it is it was purposeful as well, mainly to get some health for this bomb jump.
Yep. Matt, continuing Smith chain, is gonna turn in the purple chest here. Xenophon having a little bit of trouble with the bomb jump. This is his last try before he needs to go. They need to go find some health, but does get it, and gets their flute.
So that works out, and after that death, they will get their health refilled.
Yep. Very nice spot for the flute too. You get it out of Skull Woods, you go into Kakariko, and you immediately activate it. It's gonna make overall movement quite a bit easier to just be able to flute around.
And it does, and that means that it also does open up the door for access to the Mire area, like we mentioned. We also have a way to get into Desert Palace.
So do. Also, very, very purple Dark World today for Xenophon. Matt and Koi nearly in sync here, heading for your pod.
This play does make sense. You got your bow. You got your bow. And it makes. And I believe this will work out perfectly because you're able to route in the pod Eastern. Both are crystals, and of those, oh wait, that's Swamp Slip crystal, 5/6 crystal, right? But at least you'll be able to get 2 crystals after the Thieves Down play.
Yep. Plumere getting his mitts now as Xenophon checks out the useless Graveyard Ledge. All the puns in chat. Someone saying, Sariak saying, I think the Palace Chef was making Xenophon blow the bomb jump. And Itaner's first message saying that pun left a pit in my heart.
Anyway.
Pod is not immediately bow-locked.
Yeah, I was gonna say that we're not bow-locked at the moment, at least.
Our Itaner is Sariak, one of our trackers in the unit. Itaner I've also seen around on trackers, and that comes lots of puns today. And another key on the ledge chest here.
That is our second of a minimum of 4 keys out in the front.
Going to check out the boss key chest and Stalfo's basement chest here next. Mario plugging through Thieves Down as Xenophon is not too far behind. Flipper's in the pod big key chest.
So that now opens up Ice Palace.
And there's another key.
And we can also get into Swamp Palace, but we are unable to clear it because of no hook shots.
No. Would be kind of mean if it turned out to be French vanilla or vanilla, though.
Yeah, that hookshot spot, I remember seeing a seed where that was the case, where a vanilla hookshot was there.
I think one of the earliest ALTTP races I ever tracked, there was a vanilla hookshot. I didn't know much about ALTTP at that point in, but it was a thing, alright.
Yeah, that was an experience, alright. So Matt and Koi making their way through the Bowlock side of Pod. That is key number 3, if I'm not mistaken. Or I thought
That's
that was,
4.
that was key number. Yeah, that was key number 4 because that was the second item out of that. Yeah, because there was one in that Stalfos basement.
Yes, there was. And now they're heading for the back. Plumeria and Xenophon both in thieves.
I love the falling situation with Matt. Got bonked, and then he fell on top of the railing.
Oh no, he gets trolled by the many homosaurs and falls off the bridge and has to redo this, and it's gonna be now slightly behind Koi, who finds a key.
That is the 5th of 6 keys there. And there is our 6th.
There's a 6th. Now we need for the boss key, which is right there.
But that also means that there is something in the harmless hellway.
Yes. We have not seen either the map or the compass yet to know. 50 rupees in harmless hellway. So I think if I've been counting correctly, we've got map, compass, and 2 items left in Pod.
That does add up to 4. That adds up to 4 chests.
Yep,
You're
there's
right.
the compass. Speaking of. And 10 bombs.
The good old Uncle Bombs for standard seed play.
We're heading into blood now, as, yep, there's the heart piece on the big chest of Cloud, which means, Helmasaur has the map.
Yep, that was our final item there.
Yep, and Cloud had the flippers, and that was it. Nothing else of note as Plumeria picks up his fire rod. I'm having a little trouble hitting the switch there, and Pod decides to just use sword beams instead.
Always has to have sword. Always has to have sword beams in those particular situations. While Plumera is going to activate his float, gain access to that duck.
Yep. The duck is amok, the goose is loose.
Etc. Etc.
Yep. I can never remember any other rhymes offhand for that one.
I don't know about Goose is loose, not sass, but and also Duck is amok.
Yep.
So there's Plumera's bow.
Xenophon heading into blind, and will be getting their fire rod shortly.
I just realized I kept saying Plumera, not Plumeria. Or Plumeria. That works better. Plumeria. Going into the Helmholtz Arcane fight, well, Matt is going to approach Koi for that fight, as well as Xenophon dropping down Thieves Town's blind fight, getting the fire rod there.
And Plumeria going to get their 20 rupees off the dig game. And there's Helmasaur down for Koi. And, yep, just the map. So I did count correctly. Second crystal, right about 40 minutes for them both. And it will be Eastern for them next, as Xenophon picks up their bow.
Yep, this is going to be the mirror over towards Eastern Palace, while Plumeria is going to go and do that Smith chain.
We know this says nothing much. And now is the master of puns, lol. I do also, I kind of like the purple that Sonafon has for the Dark World. It's a nice shade of purple, but it's not obnoxious either.
Yeah. So far, these color palettes have been pretty good for Zonafon.
Nothing too painful on the eyes, though. Eastern Big Key was in the first chest. And Zonafon also doing Smith Chain. As I see, just some rupees in Eastern. Arpex is so slow without boots.
Yeah, without those boots, the hammer pegs do take a while.
And there's the Eastern Compass. And some bombs.
It's either the Big Key chest or Armos.
Is going to be the item, and the other is just going to be the map. Neither Koi nor Matt is going to skip it, the Big Key chest, though, and both are just going to go do it. I know sometimes runners, when they're down to this 50-50, decide to just take the risk.
I want to make sure this is right. I believe we did see Plumeria do the pyramid ledge, if I'm not mistaken, or did he not do that?
I know I saw him over on the pyramid area. I don't remember if he checked pyramid ledge offhand, as we see the map in the eastern big chest. Big key chest boards. Okay, pyramid ledge. Pyramid ledge was trash. Thank you, Seiryu X. As Sonafon activates their flute.
Okay, so that brings us down to the Waterfall of Wishing, Super Bunny Cave. We also have Ice Palace at the ready, and we also have Swamp Palace, but only towards the bottom of the bottom chest, possibly Big Key chest, or that side swamp.
Yes, they could potentially check out a chest or two in desert. How much depends on what the layout is there. So we'll see where Matt and Koi go after Eastern, because they've been pretty close throughout the last while here with Pod and Eastern. Matt just a couple of seconds behind heading into Armos Knights.
Both pronouns and Matt almost had a pretty good quick kill, but Koi gets the quick kill, only the single arrow out of that, and that's going to be the third crystal from both of these runners.
Yeah. 44 minutes. These two are currently in the lead on Restream with 3 crystals apiece and exactly the same items. Both choosing to walk out of Pod. As Plumeria is heading through Pod now, and they'll be getting their flippers here in a second. But Zonafon, they're looking to go the same way.
So they will be able to get Eastern and Pod, and they will also get their flippers.
And Matt and Koi are going to check out Hobo here.
Which ended up
Still
being
nearly in sync.
yeah. This ended up being 300 rupees.
Ah, that's what that was. I remember it was some form of not an item. I just didn't remember what.
We might also see Lake Kalia Island from these two, but looks like they're going to be heading up towards the pyramid now. Both in sync with each other.
It's slightly ridiculous just how close these two have been throughout the last probably close to 10 minutes at this point. And they might do like via the whirlpool.
It does show the caliber of these two runners, and also on the other side of the table as well with Plumeria Knight and Xenophon. Like we mentioned before, Plumeria Knight this is their first ever race, while Xenophon has been around for quite a while. Also pretty good runner. Definitely want to check all of them out here if you want to give it shots here as we head over towards this catfish play that we saw from Plumeria Knight.
Yep. So yeah, we are putting in the commands to chat. Shoutouts to our runners, Matt7898, Xenophon, Koi, and Plumeria Knight. Shoutouts to my co-com Professor Renderer, and to our tracker Serio X and Velleity. And to our restreamer as well, Mind of Me. I don't stream much either. I am definitely not an ALTTPR player. You'll see me more over in the Ocarina of Time Randomizer community, actually.
So here's some new information. This will be the Waterfall of Wishing, the Book of Medora, as well as 300 rupees. So that now opens up the tablets. We're able to read the pedestal, and there's also another way into desert, yeah, through the front. But we do have access to the back in our total count here. But of course, Matt does not have the knowledge about the flute just yet, nor does Koi.
No, because neither of them has dipped into Skullwoods yet.
I believe we saw Hylia Island, did we?
I don't think so. Could be wrong.
Our trucker should probably take that one up, actually.
I think so. It's easy to miss and think, oh, Lake Hylia Island was a mushroom. Okay, that's a thing.
That would be interesting because Koi and Matt, I don't believe they saw that. So Koi is gonna get the information now, seeing that right now, maybe wanting to grab that, as well as Matt's actually gonna do a similar thing.
Thinking about it, but deciding to not do so, and Matt is not too happy, and is deciding to go get a shroom.
Yeah, that makes sense. I personally think that's fair, just to go and get the shroom now. Yeah, that information did get lost because the flippers ended up being in pod, and they ended up just not seeing that item as they went over towards the catfish area instead of going over to blind check that.
Yeah, okay, only the right side runner set on Erland. That's that one I figured. But this does actually finally give us at least a bit of... They're finally no longer in sync, although I expect Matt will still end up going to Ice Palace here shortly once he gets his flute, not his flute, his shroom. As Koi takes down some pen gators and gets a key out of the first chest of ice.
Yeah, our first bit of divergence from the left side of the table here. We get that mushroom now, and we're now heading into Ice Palace for Matt 7898.
I wouldn't call this divergence, more they're no longer in sync. They're still doing the same thing, just a bit more delayed.
A slight divergence, which still means which ends up being they end up concatenating together.
Yep.
And
Plumeria takes down Homosar.
Yep, that's going to be Plumeria's second crystal. Koi is setting up for the Icebreaker clip.
Neat little trick that you use the Cane of Samaria to make use of Door State extension, which, among other things, allows you to walk through walls and saves you a lot of time in Ice Palace.
And there's quite a lot of ways you can set up this Icebreaker. I personally like to do sword buffers, set up menu buffering, and there's the Icebreaker for Koi.
As we see,
tempered sword.
Nice.
Yep, rewarded with a tempered sword.
Nice to have. 51 minutes in. Not going to worry too much about combat from now on.
Yep, we are at least getting a silverless Ganon fight with tempered sword enabled.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about Master Sword Silverless. I mean, we don't know where Silvers are. They might not ever show up, because this is beatable only. But at least it's not a Master Sword.
And Matt is also going to do the Icebreaker clip, this time getting a first try.
It is also 2 items in ice. Was it? Gators was a key. The first chest was a key. Okay, there's a boss key. Bacon and red rupee, right. Okay. And there's a big key there in the freezer chest. Koi falling down the hole. And I'm just gonna head for Cold Stare here now. You think? Oh wait, nope. Just gonna climb back up since he did fall down. I have a dismally bad sense of direction, and Ice Palace is really bad for it.
Ice Palace is one of those dungeons where it is a vertical dungeon, and it's very, very weird to navigate around. Not to mention too ice physics, which is never fun in any video game. How to deal with ice physics.
Oh no, it is not. Matt not falling down the hole is gonna continue here. They will be in the ice tea room at the same time as Zelnafon takes a death and and there's the compass and ice tea.
Yeah, Zelna took a death on Helmasar King. Hate to see it.
Oof, that does hurt. It's a good few, probably most of it's going to be about an Eastern behind Plumeria, I think, at this rate. Yes, either Ice Big Chest or Cold Stare as our last item. And it's Cold Stare, since there's a key on the big chest. But that unfortunate fall from Koi is making them almost in sync again. Moves much of the lead he had going into Ice Palace. Still doesn't have the shroom.
Pull up the Bombos tablet to take down the shell of Cold Stare. And we're gonna blast away at those Cold Stare eyes with fire rod shots and a couple of split spins and slashes.
Pretty nice fight.
Cold Stare. Yep, good fight for him, as it's just 20 rupees.
So Ice Palace was dead as Koi picks up his 4th crystal at 54 minutes. Matt having a little more trouble with Cold Stare here. But does also take Cold Stare down, and will also get his 4th crystal just a short bit later. And Plumeria and Zelnafon are doing simultaneous boss fights as well. Boss fights for everyone. Plumeria almost but not quite getting the on armor, still pretty nice though. And picking up their 3rd crystal at 55 minutes.
as well as the single arrow from off of the Armos Knights. So at this point, I think the best possible place to go at this point is, well, I would imagine Bombo's Tablet, and then head over towards the Mire area, and then head towards Desert.
Yeah. Koi is actually heading up the mountain here. We'll see where he goes as Matt is going to go turn in the mushroom. And they are indeed now actually out of sync. At least for the moment. Koi going to check Ether Tablet here, as there's Helmasaur down for Xenophon, picking up their third crystal at, that's actually their second crystal at 56 minutes. And just a heart container on the shroom spot, and some arrows on the Ether Tablet.
Matt opting to save Scummit.
Okay, we are seeing that's the Mire.
Quake is required for Misery Mire.
Matt looks to be heading for Swamp Palace potentially here. It is a crystal, but they're missing the hook shot. Still not a terrible idea to clear out the front, as Plumeria finds a heart piece on Checkerboard Cave. And Koi is going to open up Turtle Rock here. Now, Xenophon catches up in Eastern.
And yeah, looking like Quake is both required for this seed, as Matt is going to check out the Bombo's Tablet.
Does Plumeria not have Quake yet, as we see a blue mail on the Bombo's Tablet? That's a little bit unfortunate for Plumeria.
And the big key is on the torch, so we might not be seeing boots. Depends on what happens, though.
Yep. Matt going to find whatever variety of junk was here in the Kina, I forget, as Chloe finds a bloomerang in Super Bunny, and Plumeria's stream is lagging a bit. Going to steal the key from the back, it looks like here, to check the front, perhaps? Yeah, there was... I don't know if it was the map compass or an item on the map chest, but there was not a small key. And Plumeria is going to take the risk to steal the key and hope there's nothing on Landmost, which decent chance with it being beatable only and the big key being on the torch, as Matt is following close behind and Koi enters Tiara.
This is an interesting play from Koi, going into Turtle Rock without the Ice Rod in hand. We do know that the Ice Rod is required, and typically if I were to go into Turtle Rock, I'd be either... It's something that I don't normally do. I don't normally go to Turtle Rock this early in the game.
There's a Tempered Sword for Plumeria out of, what's that, the Compass chest in not Eastern, Desert.
Yep, and that is our fourth sword.
Yes, it is. We know of all four swords. That might not even be in logic. Depending where that small key is. Because Plumeria stole a key from the back to go get that sword. And Matt is bailing out of Desert as Koi finds the big key in the front in Firelock here in TR. And Matt looks to be following close behind as Xenophon clears Eastern. And Plumeria is going to get his Quake now, it looks like. And quite possibly heading for Ice Palace here next is my guess.
I definitely see ice in the cards for Plumeria.
I'd expect so as well. Also, happy 1 hour mark, everyone.
We're We're now an hour into this seed, and at this point, give a bit of our recap here. We did get into desert. We did see what Desert Ledge was about. We did see Meyer Shed, and at this point in the race, we are just we also are looking at Super Bunny Cave here. I think we did see that previously. So Koi is going into the play for Turtle Rock.
Alright, so what do we still even need for finishing up the seed? We need Ice Rod for Turtle Rock and a Hookshot for Swamp and Mire. If Hookshot's in Mire, then I suppose they might need to find some boots to get in.
Right, and this is also... There's also that 1 in 22 shot that we do need the boots for GT, but that's just besides the point. Plumeria is now going to get the book from off of the Waterfall of Wishing.
Yep. Matt as Zeldathon picks up their fourth crystal. Not that's their fourth or third. Crystal off Harmless Knights in an hour and 1 minute. Nothing much of note in Turtle Rock so far. Yeah, we are missing an Ice Rod, Hookshot, and maybe Boots right now for Go Mode.
Yeah, for all we know, it could be on Laser Bridge, it could be in Mimic Cave, as we're going to take a look at that now.
Yeah, Zelda is avoiding Hype Cave, yes. Still doesn't have their cane or their, it still doesn't have their cane, or their second sword out of there. I was trying to remember what the second item was in there, because I remember there was two. Brain fart.
And you don't normally see runners skip Hype Cave most of the time. Maybe it's possibly that Zelda may have mismarked that on their map tracker, or they haven't found time to route that in.
Unfortunate, since we know that Zeldathon needs their King of Samaria and the second sword out of there. Second sword maybe not technically required, but very much nice to have.
There's Hookshot.
Okay, there's Hookshot in, what's that room? Crystal Roller Room of TR for Koi.
And now that opens up Swamp Palace, and we also have a way to get into Mire now.
Yes, they do. Yes, that also does open up Hookshot Cave, so unless they manage to find an Ice Rod on Laser Bridge, they're going to probably check out Hookshot Cave and then get off this mountain.
Watch, it's going to be on, watch, the Ice Rod's going to be on Laser Bridge, like it usually is.
That would be funny. Plumeria is now in Ice Palace, has picked up, has picked up his gold sword, and that's also basically the only thing of note. And I remember that was the only thing of note in here was a gold sword the gold sword for PK, chocolate sword for just about everyone else. There's a key for Koi.
Gets shot in the face by that laser.
Has a fairy.
Yep,
I was going to say
it have a fairy.
It would be pretty miserable to walk all the way back to TR for that one chest if they really wanted it. Probably wouldn't have been worth it at that point, especially as it turns out it was just some bombs.
So I guess we try and save our mirror portal. Wait. Oh right, poison. Yeah, we can't really do that because we got to do Hookshot Cave. Never mind.
Yep. Yeah, if that had been the ice rod and Koi hadn't had a fairy, that could have been quite bad. Because in that kind of situation, you're not going to want to walk all the way back through TR for one singular check. And if that was your ice rod, well, you're not going back until that's the last check in the game, pretty much.
Yeah, it feels really bad to get that in that scenario, as Zelna is now going to go into Hype Cave, get the Cane of Samaria, and their second sword.
Yeah. That kind of situation where you die just before one check, and you decide to not, and that's a pain to get back, so you decide to not go for it until later, it can really quite hurt. Seen a lot of situations where it ends up just dooming a runner in a race. It's never fun to see.
Over to Hookshot Cave, there's the
Hey!
asteroid.
Ouch! Hey, double dip of TR, anyone?
Yep, that was a required double dip for TR, as we now enter Go mode.
Yeah, that isn't go mode for us.
Well, Shortica's Go mode, but Go mode nonetheless.
Yep. Yeah.
Might still need the boost possibly for GT, as Koi is going to take a death on the on those Lionels. Intentional death from over on Koi's part.
Good point though that Matt and Koi still need to go back to Pendant and Skull Woods to go get their flute. That could be a bit of a problem.
All right, yeah, but oh yeah, right. Completely forgot about that. Yeah, we are actually in no mode. I completely forgot about that. Shortica's no mode.
That's a fairly nasty TR double dip. It's not the worst, but you had to go all the way to the Crystal Roller Room, get your hookshot, leave, go to Hookshot Cave, and then come back. You have to go through at least half of TR again, roughly. Plumeria, in the meantime, is done with Ice Palace, is also up to now up to 4 crystals, and we'll see where they go next. Oh, Koi was able to save that portal, nice.
Oh, it did work out. What do you know?
And Matt is okay. Just going to use. Where's Matt going? Okay, going to put the mirror portal here instead, and going to go check out Hookshot Cave, I assume. As Koi heads into Trinex, and Xenophon picks up their heart container off the mushroom spot. Not the mushroom spot, the mushroom turn-in. And Plumeria is going to get his mushroom here, I think. Yep, I'm not going to see much, unfortunately. There's Trinex down. First phase of Trinex down. Koi is going to be getting his 5th crystal shortly.
So at this point, all Koi and Matt really need to do is to get that flute off of Skull Woods in the big chest, and one of these two will enter Schrödinger's Go mode.
Yeah. As we see Ether on Trinex for Koi, picking up his 5th crystal at an hour 9. Matt about to get his ice rod. Xenophon just getting their book. And Plumeria is gonna fake powder the magic bat.
Interesting decision from Plumeria, which only shows up as 10 arrows.
Unfortunately, nope. And Koi is going to go do Swamp Palace. Makes sense. It is a crystal. We'll see where they choose to go after that, though.
Interestingly enough, Matt choosing to re-enter Turtle Rock from the front.
Yes, because he did set a portal at the ridge. Unfortunately, going to lose a few additional minutes due to having to go all the way back to Purple Rock. It's kind of slow. Yeah, fetch quests have not had anything so far. It's on the fun now going into Ice Palace. We'll be picking up Gold Tempered Sword and their 4th crystal here. Matt did afford to save the portal, unfortunately. Ouch. Yeah, it's gonna cost him a couple minutes. He was pretty close behind Koi, but they diverged a little on their way to TR, and this is just putting him a little further behind. What's going to come down to between these two runners is ultimately who's gonna check out Pendant Skull Woods first.
Yeah, those two, they have to get to that big chest in order to get that flute, which is necessary to complete this seed. Zeldathon going to take the original route through Ice Palace, going to do a Ice Palace bomb jump. Looks from the looks of things.
Looks like it perhaps hasn't learned Icebreaker yet.
Yeah, Icebreaker is one of those techniques that is a very nice thing to have in your back pocket, and it's safe because it makes Ice Palace a lot more tolerable.
Oh yes, Koi did indeed skip the first actual chest of swamp. Not the one that has the key, the one right after it. I think he actually skipped that, which is interesting.
Interestingly enough, Zeldathon is not going to go for an Ice Palace bomb jump.
Is just going to do Ice Palace the vanilla way, I guess. Alright.
Going to do the developer intended route instead.
Let's get a nice little quick bomb kill here on the Pen Gators. Oh, he's trying to go mode swamp and hope to find flute later. Yeah, to be fair, Cannon full clearing, you don't need to bomb jump. Kamura checking out Ether Tablet, going to find not much. And then we'll hopefully also head over to TR and find out about that lovely double dip. As Matt takes down Trinex, and Koi gets through the back end of Swamp here. Xenophon about to get their Tempered Sword.
As Koi enters the Argus fight.
So Matt is going to be about just a couple minutes here behind Koi here. Going to enter Swamp shortly after Koi takes down Argus here. Getting a map and his 6th crystal. Yeah, Koi will not unfortunately be able to dive her down since they chose to go to the back immediately. We'll see if they choose to go back in to clear out the rest of Swamp, or if they're just gonna head elsewhere. We know where their go mode is. It's in the big chest of Pendant Skull Woods. I don't remember where the big key was, but it wasn't anywhere too annoying. And Koi is heading back in.
As right as Matt is going to open up Swamp Palace. So after Koi gets through Swamp Palace, I'm for sure thinking he's going to head over to Skull Woods.
I would hope so. Yeah, Bosky of Skullwoods isn't on Monthiel, which is a bliss, yes.
There isn't really much left to check that can be there. We've already seen that, well, Pedestal is dead because we did need to get that those boots from off of to get over to the get the big key from off of the torch in Desert Palace, we saw that Lumberjack Ledge didn't have anything, and we also saw that, and we have not seen the cave, so for all we know, we don't know that Bumper Cave should in the event that boots are required for the
Hey, there's
sea.
boots, by the way. Compass chest?
Okay.
Not sure which one that is.
Okay,
It's in
never
swamp
mind.
at any rate.
Never mind. So that's now no mode.
That we definitely know where all the. Yeah, well, we never saw Burna or Kate, but I don't think they're much concerned about it. Yeah, no, we are in no mode at this point. For sure, there's nothing that can stop these runners from finishing out the seed that we know of. Okay. And I called to do left side swamp, found nothing of note. Matt's going to clear out swamp instead of go mode it the way Koi did to get to Argus, finding just a heart piece on the big chest. And Matt is about to get boots here. Wait, did this seed make the runners go into every dungeon except for Desert for go mode? Let's see. No, Hera was completely useless. Hera was absolutely patently useless, but Desert was technically not required. Did have a sword, but we don't know where that small key of Desert is. If it's in the big chest, they're fine. If it's on Landmost, then yeah, that sword is out of logic. Don't think Plumeria cares much. They'll probably be the only one of the decent chance that Plumeria is going to be the only one of these runners to finish the seed with Gold Sword.
We did see that cape from off of Koi, though. So that actually does open up a few more checks for Koi.
Oh yes, that was what, left side swamp?
That was on left side swamp, yes. That opens up Bumper Cave and also Spike Cave. That actually might lead Koi away from Skullwood. So if I was seeing that cape, I would not be feeling so good at the moment, because I don't want to see that cape, because that would lead me off towards the Bumper Cave or Spike Cave.
Yes. Koi is now going to check out Desert. Get the big key off the torch. We'll see how far Koi decides to go. Might depend on what's in the big chest, in all honesty. As Matt heads into Swamp Palace, and Xenophon is also heading up the mountain. We'll be following Plumeria into Turtle Rock here. These two are TR and Swamp behind Koi and Matt, but they also have the flute, so it's going to make things a bit interesting for them. Koi is going to get the big key here. We'll see if Matt chooses to go back to Desert, or if he decides to just head for Skullwoods. Matt did check out Desert earlier before going to Turtle Rock, and knows that the big key is on the torch. Well, he's going to check out left side swamp first here. And okay, there's the key. So in the Desert big chest. So Goldsword isn't logic today. I don't think Beatable only has really had too much of an effect on this seed, to be honest.
No, it hasn't really. There really hasn't been a lot of checks that was locked behind themselves. It looked like a very normal seed, all things considered.
Yeah. Koi getting his gold sword and some rupees. That I think is both items out of Desert. So Landmost is dead, and we'll see where Koi goes next.
Actually, from Incoherence, saying that because it doesn't mean, just because it means beatable, it doesn't automatically mean that it locks stuff off. It's possible for items to be locked off, but it doesn't. But it's not like a guarantee.
No, it is not.
Ooh, silver arrows.
Oh, hey, Silver Rose in Kingston. Nice to have.
Always nice to see silver arrows. And now what that again is a cakewalk.
Oh, yeah. Gold Sword Silvers. Coy's going to have no problems at all. And is going to check out Bomb Rocks here.
There's the hook shot from off of Plumeria.
Yep, hour 20 hook shot.
But it looks as if Koi is now heading over to that Skull Woods area.
Yes, he is.
Or
as Matt is going to be getting the cape. And, okay.
Koi may be having other plans, though.
Oh, he might.
Smith chain.
Oh,
Hasn't done Smith chain.
He hasn't done Smith chain. Oh, that's gonna cost him a couple minutes here. We unfortunately know there's absolutely nothing on Smith chain.
Ooh.
As, ouch, Sonafon takes a death in the, Fire Rod Black side of TR here, if I recall correctly. That's Silver Arrows from Matt. Koi is at least going to be, I think, the only one of these four runners to hammer pegs the fast way.
For sure. I don't. They're the faster way of doing the hammer pegs, the way that it's meant to be done.
Honestly forgotten he'd skipped Smith chain until now. And ooh, Mary also taking a death on Laser Bridge. Matt did do Smith chain.
But Plumeria did get the safety door.
Okay, phew. That is the difference between Plumeria's death to, and I think Matt is going to pick powder here, it looks like.
So this won't cost him a lot of time. If anything, it won't really entirely matter. Plumeria is actually leaving. Plumeria is leaving, heading for Misery Mire. Looks like.
Does have Quake. Samaria can clear this. It's a little unfortunate because we know his hookshot's back on the mountain, and it could be a while. It's not his hookshot, his ice rod's back on the mountain in Hookshot Cave, and it could be a little while before he gets back there.
Yeah. Now it makes sense to do this, but it just isn't the right answer. So now looks like Matt is now heading over to Kakariko. So I recall correctly, if I remember correctly, Matt did do this, or maybe hasn't done Smith chain. I might be wrong though.
I thought he did Smith chain already.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. Okay, he's heading north. Okay.
Going to do looking like
ledge.
Okay, so that was the bumper cave.
Oh, he's also gonna head back east. So Koi will be the first of these two to head to Skullwoods, as we see some bombs in the bridge chest of Mire for Plumeria. And Matt never did bump Graveyard Ledge, right? That's what it was here.
Okay, fair enough. So the good news for this is that Koi will be the first of our runners to be in go mode.
Yep.
Once
next couple of minutes, depending on the Skullwoods routing here. Okay, got a small key out of the big key chest and is gonna head back to the front here. As a little worried he's gonna head for the Mothula first, which would have cost him a couple extra minutes, because Flute is in the front, as is the boss key.
Yep, and that's gonna take that small key, bring it over to the pot prison. Gonna get the heart container out of there.
I believe chat said that the boss key was in this chest. Yep, there it is.
Yep, in the surprise chest with the holes.
Ah, yes. And okay, Matt is going to be right behind. Let's
So
see
we
what his
actually-
routing is here in Skullwoods.
Has to mirror out. But we are getting close here. So Koi will be the first player in go mode at 1:25:47.
Yes, and Matt will be about a minute behind. Maybe. These two are continuing to stay extremely close as they have been throughout the race. It'll be a very close finish between them, I think.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna. This will probably be more so coming down to execution here. Matt, I've seen Matt play before. We were teammates in the league season 2 as the Talking Heads. I've seen his execution, and he is a pretty good executor. Koi does a pretty good job executing as well, but I feel like Matt has a lot better execution, in my opinion. Or like in this particular matchup, I think Matt executes better than Koi.
I would say so as well. Plumeria, unfortunately, having not found their ice rod, cleared out the cutscene chest in Meyer, which is nothing. And where's Zelnifon going, actually?
So he's actually okay. So he is heading for the crystal roller room. This will. Oh wait, sorry. They are getting the crystal roller room. My apologies. That will get them the hook shot.
Yes. Also to note, though, that Koi does have butter stored and Matt has tempered, which could make a bit of a difference. Not much with runners of this skill level, but good to see at least a little bit. We will have triple Meyer here. Plumeria heading for the boss now, as Koi gets into the main room, and I'm not sure what Matt's doing. Okay, going to get some potions here, it looks like. Except for he has no empty bottles. Whoopsies. I unfortunately completely forgot where the boss key was in Meyer. Not the first chest, I remember that much. Left side, thank you, chat. Matt now also entering Meyer. Zelnifon still in Turtle Rock. Oh, Meyer BK was vanilla black. Where is the vanilla Meyer BK cutscene chest? Oh, no, there it is, right. I got a little bit lost. So, yeah, there's BK for Koi, and we'll be heading off to Vidi soon. As Plumeria fights Vidi, it's a pretty nice fight. Doesn't have silvers, but still took Vidi down pretty quickly, gets the key. And Koi will be close behind as Xenophon clears out Laser Bridge, finding nothing. And taking a death, thankfully, I think he did take the safety door. Not he, they. I keep pronouns.
Yep, it's a they. They, them.
Yep. Thankfully they took the safety door. And now we'll see where Plumeria goes next. They are now also up to... They're up to 5 crystals now. Are going to do Swamp Palace, and then we'll see where they go from there.
Koi doing some spooky action.
I think the boss key might have been mapped just in Meyer, but I also don't remember for sure.
Koi actually went up the stairs before the the switch went down and had to come down, but it's okay. Managed to do it again. Now on to the Vitreous fight.
Yeah, Lincoln Events Vitreous here for Koi, pretty much. Going to be a very fast fight with silver arrows. And there is Vitreous down for Koi. We'll be picking up his last crystal here to number 31, which means it is time for everyone's favorite guessing game.
We have a total of 21 chests in a torch, making up a total of 22 possible checks. One of them does have our big key. If you guys want to put in, guys, girls, and anyone of any other gender may want gonna put in the put in your guesses in the chat where you think the big key might show up. Do so as well, and you'll get some nice credits from me and Star.
So yeah, my guess is 8. I see Serio X, one of our checkers, decided to be mean and guess 22. Tenor guessing 22, Tunnel Room specifically. And Lady, our other checker, guessing 21. What's your guess, Professor?
Let's go a little bit different. Let's go with number 8.
Hey, we guess the same thing. Yeah, we will see. There's 21 checks and a torch in Ganon's Tower, the basement of Ganon's Tower. Which one of them will have the boss key?
And there's Zelnafon's Ice Rod that will put them in go mode. Well, almost. We don't know about the boots location.
Yes. Because boots were in the Swamp Compass, although that's not a particularly hard chest to get.
Yeah, and we're more specifically, we're seeing whether or not those boots are going to be required for this seed.
Alright, there's Koi entering GT at an hour 33. Just as Matt gets out of Vidi, so Matt's gonna be about 2 minutes behind, because I think Koi took down Vitreous at about an hour 31, so 2-minute difference roughly between these two.
Guesses are now closed. 21 chests and a torch separates Koi from getting that big key. Here we go into the Hope Room. Number one,
300 rupees. 2 is some more rupees.
We're forced to go left.
Yep, no key. Sometimes, if you get a key on those first 2 checks, runners will go to the right and clear out the 4 checks there, but no such luck, as I see a key on the torch.
Bob
so that's check
dead.
3.
Bob is dead, and Zelnafon is in the clear now in go mode.
Yes, Cell is. Let's see, checks 4 through 7 here coming up. 4 is some rupees. 5 is a compass. 6 is some more money. And 7 is some more money. Alright, so nothing in this room. And Matt being not quite, like about a minute and a half, I think, wasn't keeping track of exact seconds behind Koi here in entering GT. Oh,
I could imagine. Go ahead.
Sorry. And Koi, Matt is going to just go straight left, so we'll save a little bit of time here on Koi.
Hey! Number 8!
Hey, guess what? We both are right.
We both won. Nice. Our official winner is stop being you technically won the overall game. If you want to take it a bit more serious, other person down that also guessed 8 is Sadist of number 8.
Yes, indeed. So you get to win along with the cops. I was going to say because the boss key took a little bit to find, not too bad, but a little bit. Is that our room name today in race time was actually Snug Chicken's Tower. And Matt's gonna go to the right side, so never mind that bit of time gain. Gonna lose a little bit of time here, but not much.
Going for some magician strats here.
Yeah, Getting Tower wasn't too snug. You didn't have to spend too much time looking for the boss key, at least.
I always love the names of the rooms for race time.gg. I just love some of the names that they come up with. Salty Lost Woods is one of them right now.
Oh god, that's funny.
Fancy Blinds, Smart Paradox, Witty Shovel, Outrageous Flute. That's just some of the names that I'm seeing right now.
Oh man, that's funny.
I'm frequently over in the Ocarina of Time Randomizer Discord community. I tend to mostly volunteer over there. Hey, there's red mail in the right side of GT. And not much else. I tend to be over in the OTR Discord. I remember there was a race room once that had the name Critical Dungeon. You had to go to the OTR equivalent of a pendant dungeon where there were only 2 checks in logic to get your go mode.
That's really cool.
The runners were not amused with me. Critical dungeon, indeed. It is critical you rush this non-required dungeon to get your go mode.
Well, not technical. It wasn't technically go mode, but it locked but you knew where your go mode was, and it was locked by that item. That was a funny one. The runners weren't happy with me in the slightest. Having to go to a non-required dungeon with only 2 checks in logic. That was funny. Well, funny for me, not funny for them. But that is also, Matt has also picked up his boss key, Zell heading into Mire, as Flumeria is now heading for the backup swamp, having picked up his boots. That's why Dark Magician was named that. Dark Magician was it is so named because a runner named Dark Magician that hated to stop us in that room and immediately feared after getting items to go right inside. Wow.
Yeah, this was the Pink Magician route where because of Pink Kitty Rose, who went for the left, right, left variant of the Dark Magician room.
Oh, nice.
Koi now about to approach the Mold Arm 2 fight with only blue mail, 13 hearts, gold, sword, and silvers. This should not be a problem whatsoever, nor will be the ensuing Ganon fight.
I don't expect so. Matt is close behind. Heading into Landmas 2 now. As Flumeria takes on Arcus.
And our final bottle is in Moldarm 2 with a fairy in a bottle and a very nice find for Koi, and is a really good way to end this seed off with a fairy for the Ganon fight.
It is very convenient to have. Does have gold, sword, and silvers, but it never hurts to have an extra fairy. And there's Arcos down for Plumeria, getting his 6th crystal at an hour 39. Just sub 140. We'll see where they go next, because Plumeria needs... We know that Plumeria needs to go back up Death Mountain to Hookshot Cave to get his Ice Rod, which is his go mode, but unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be the first play he makes. Uh. Yeah, I'm gonna do Pyramid Fairy first here. Did just get his second red crystal off Meyer, first one being out of Swamp. And is going to check out Pyramid Fairy. We know this is gonna be nothing much in there at this point. As Koi drops down to the Ganon fight.
And like we mentioned before, with Gold Stars and Silverless, this is going to be a cakewalk for Koi.
Also, did Flumeria lose the red bomb? I completely missed it.
I think so. I don't know. So Koi is on to phase 4 of the Ganon fight, while Matt is going through the Aga 2 fights with silvers in hand. No need for Torch glitch. Gonna get it anyway. No, just cause.
Okay, Flumeria. Okay, there's Aga 2 down for Matt.
And
And
Ganon
just
is
as Koi takes down Ganon.
GG's in the chat for Koi. Going to be taking first on our restream. Gonna get the official racetime.gg time for you as well. Finishing with an official racetime.gg time of 1:42:18. Coming in third place overall, with Michael 1985 in first place overall with a time of 1:39:51 and just about 7-8 seconds or so. Floppy Bacon with 1:40:02. And there is Koi in our commentary channel. GG.
Hello! Happy birthday and GG's!
Hey, what's up?
Happy birthday, Koi! And you got yourself. I mean, it wasn't first place, but you got third. It's first on the restream. Does that count?
Apparently, some people just go to Skull Woods. Like, I don't know why anyone would ever do something like that.
Yeah, it's a mystery as to why Skull Woods exists in the Beatable seed.
Yeah, this did not look all that beatable, only you could still pretty much go everywhere.
Honestly, I don't understand why they did this mode. Like, Beatable doesn't do anything if you have 7-7. Like, it is incredibly unlikely that any part of the game is locked out when you have it set to 7-7.
Yeah, no, we still saw most everything.
Yeah, I met the top finishers that they probably just did Skull Woods before going to Pod and Eastern. And then you just get the flute, and the flute doesn't really do anything for you, but it means that you're not looking for the flute when you get to Swamp later.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see if like maybe they finish without boots and silvers. But I mean, you get to like go mode Swamp. That's worth like 3 trips through Turtle Rock.
Oh god, that double dip of Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
But back to restream, Xenophon is taking on Vitreous without silvers, and Matt here is finishing in 4th place with an official race time of 1 hour, 44 minutes, and 6 seconds GG's. As Xenophon takes a death to Vitreous, as Plumeria is hunting for the Ice Rod. You and Matt followed very similar routes throughout the seed, Koi, and were actually in some degree of sync or another for quite a lot of it.
What did they do wrong?
Just like that routing
Matt's better than
divergence.
me. Like, if
was the
Matt and I
race-
are doing the same thing, like, I shouldn't be losing.
Just small routing differences. Actually, and we do have Matt here joining us in the interview booth. GG's.
GG.
Matt, how come you didn't just go to Skull Woods?
Yeah,
Neither of you did.
yeah, like, well,
No.
so Zelda and Plumeria did go to Skullwoods, got that flute first, before you and Matt did.
Like, they got flute when they were in the Steve's Town's Village of Outcasts area. Just got all that in one trip.
Yeah, so what I was thinking there was I got the mitts at a Thieves Town. It's kind of awkward to do both Smith Chain and Skullwood / Graveyard Ledge. They're both 3 items. Smith Chain is way faster, so I chose Smith Chain.
I did neither. I saved and quit and went straight to Pod Eastern.
Yeah, I thought about doing
I was
that
like,
too.
I was like, these both suck. So let's just do neither. That works.
Yeah,
I
you
ended
did
up
that.
doing Smith sequence though, before making my way to Skullwoods at the end of the seed. So it didn't actually help me that I skipped both. I guess I didn't do purple chest. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, apparently a blue bat was on pedestal as. That's Burna. I was wondering about that
Burna,
one.
yeah, Burna.
Nice, lol.
You know, before the race today, Koi told me it was his birthday, so I thought I'd full cleared the game for him to give him as much of a chance to win as possible. You know.
You almost dropped the ball though, because I full cleared the game too.
Well, I also did
You
it
guys-
very inefficiently.
Did you
You
kill
guys both
Lambo?
did most of the same route is the funny thing, as we were telling Chloe just before you came in, man, is you guys were in sync or close to it for most of the seeds, starting from, I think, the very early on. Like, I know you guys were in sync throughout most of Pod and Eastern, and mostly just stayed to the same route. I mean, little divergences here and there. Matt, you went, you dipped Desert before Pod, not before Desert, before TR, while Koi did so afterwards. As it turns out, your gold sword was in Desert, by the way, Matt.
Yeah, I felt like the seed was pretty straightforward. Like, you do the normal overworld checks on Dark World, and then you get bows. You're like, okay, Eastern Pod, both crystals, and then after that, you have what Ice was the next like clear thing to do. Is
Yep.
you do that, you do dense overworld with the flipper checks, and then at that point in the seed, you're like, okay, everything's terrible. Which is least terrible?
Yeah, because you're trying to put off that mountain play until you find like either the ice rod or the hook shot, and that was impossible to do in this season.
Oh
so,
god.
so you
Shout
got
outs
to
to-
walk into that.
I went up
Double
the
dip of
mountain.
TR.
I went up the mountain right away after Ice because, like, I had the fire rod, and I felt like it was with the 2 medallions and the fire. It's like clearly there's something going to be in TR. It's a big risk though because like the ice rod might have just been on hammer pegs or something. You know, some
Right.
innocuous check that I skipped and somebody else wouldn't have. Like if ice rod had been in hammer pegs, then Matt wins by a mile, right? Because I double dipped TR and he single dips. So it was a big risk to go up there as early as I did, but you know it paid off. It was a required double dip. Well, you had to double dip either swamp or TR. You couldn't do both.
Right, because right, because the boot, because it was
Ice rod was in the boot
bottom
flex
chest.
spot.
And yeah, so out of the Forerunners on Restream, the 2 of you and Zelnathon, all got Ice Rod immediately after finding out that Turtle Rock was a laser bridge had nothing. Whereas Plumeria save quit and did Meyer and Swamp and is now back in TR actually, I think. Yeah, having picked up their Ice Rod on the way back, thankfully. I wasn't sure how long.
Yeah, it's super annoying to have to like reclimb the mountain for Hookshot Cave.
Oh man, I can.
But I mean, it's pretty dense. Like you should definitely be doing that after you get the hookshot there.
Yeah, rude, but also sort of convenient. That you had to you had to go all the way, even if you quit out of TR immediately after getting Hookshot, you still have to go back through like half of TR.
Yeah, like I could have saved that portal and gone back in at the Turtle Rock West exit, and I wasn't
sure.
sure.
You didn't save it?
Right. I thought it was pretty much the same, pretty much a wash, right? Because you just either walk back in the entrance or die and then walk back up the mountain. I
don't know. I just always I just always save it if I can.
Yeah.
I mean, if nothing else, it shows off your amazing level of knowledge of the game that you can save the portal, right?
That's true.
Plumeria is in go mode just now.
in GT, Xenophon is having a rough time with Meyer, but is still going at it, so kudos to them. Trying to not completely ignore restream.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
rude seat overall, honestly.
Yeah.
Like the flute really irked me. But you know, it would like for some people it's a very standard route when to enter the Dark World at Village of Outcasts and just do front of Skullwits.
Right.
Like regardless of any other information you have, any other items you have, to just do front of Skullwits. And like I totally respect that decision. I think that's a pretty reasonable thing to do. It's not my preferred way to route, and you know, not doing that burns me this seed. But you know, there's some seeds where that burns everybody else, and like, I save 2 minutes because I didn't do that.
Right. I mean, rando will rando. Wound up being a kind of dry star, but once you got over to Hype Cave and Village of Outcasts area, and you get your bow in Village of Outcasts, and Mitts out of Thieves Town, things just started opening up a bit at that point. Yeah, you guys went over to Pod Eastern afterwards, and then off to Turtle Rock, and then off to Ice Palace, and then Tiarn, and just went from there.
Yeah, the seed really kind of played itself until kind of after Ice Palace, I'd say. I don't know, it was fun though. It's fun to get back into it. Wait,
It definitely wasn't the worst seed I've ever seen.
No.
No, there's definitely been worse. Desert and Harrow were both completely optional, although everyone did Harrow pretty early on. And Pedestal was dead today too.
Yeah, there's no reasonable way to skip Hera in this seed.
Not
Like
really,
with the items you got in the early game, it's the game screaming at you to go to the mountain. And even if you try skipping Pendant Hera to do Eseth Mountain was empty. So like you have to do Hera. You can't skip it anymore. You have to go back for that.
Yeah.
And then that
Yeah.
would just be empty too. And you're like, oh, okay, I guess I just need to go to Sahasra, whatever. Fun
Pretty
game.
much, yeah. Yeah. First trip of Death Mountain gave you absolutely nothing. I think the most notable thing on that first trip up the mountain was a bottle out of Spectacle Rock.
Yeah, I didn't even pick that up.
Yeah, I think I already had a bottle.
There were two
Pretty
in
fair.
CAC, so I'm pretty sure you had enough at that point. Also, hey, Floppy Bacon joining us in chat, saying happy. I just noticed this. Saying happy birthday to Koi and also GG's, by the way, Floppy Bacon, who was our second place finisher today.
Speaking of birthdays, I gotta go back to my my birthday stream. But thank you guys so much for the restream, and thanks for the race match.
GG,
Really
dude.
appreciate it.
Happy birthday. Hope it's a good one.
Oh yeah, GG's.
Happy
Happy birthday, Koi.
Bye, everybody.
I'm gonna dip out too. Thank you guys so much for the commentary and the stream.
Yep. Thank you
Yeah.
for the race,
GG's
Matt,
to
and
everybody else.
GG's. Mario's climbing up GT. Xenophon is going through swamp here. Mario also have a fairly decent time with Ganon, having gold sword and silvers. Also has sadly is only on green mail as is Xenophon. Neither of them ever got their mails out of Bomba's tablet or right side of GT, it looks like.
They're gonna grab the fairy from off of the Moldorm 2 chest.
Yeah, Xenophon Gunloading Swamp is unfortunately missing out on the silvers and the boots.
will have a bit of a rougher time with Ganon. Doesn't have Gold Sword either, so does have 3 battles at least, but it's gonna be a bit of a rough fight for Xenophon. Taking on Argus as Plumeria does an econometry. And there is Argus down for Xenophon, getting his 7th crystal here just under the hour 56 mark. Yeah, I wonder what Koi's starting up now. They're going to be continuing his stream. And there's Zekis down from Plumeria. We'll be heading for Ganon shortly. And should be finishing right about the 2-hour mark here. Is down to 1 heart though, so it needs a bit more health.
But with that fairy in hand, that won't be a big of an issue for Plumeria.
But yeah, we are going to just watch these runners here. Our last 2 runners here finish out the seed. Plumeria now on Ganon, as Xenophon heads back up the mountain. Plumeria making use of that fairy. Yeah, Zono was quite close to Boots. Unfortunately missed it. Won't hurt him really. Not him, they. Won't hurt them really. Silvers are a little bit more unfortunate.
So with that, now is phase 4 for... Ooh, gotta be careful here. There we go. Down goes Ganon for Plumeria. Get your GGs in the chat for him.
Yeah. Going to be finishing here. Crossing the hardest 1x3 bridge in all of Hyrule and finishing in 6th place in the official race time of 1:58.35, finishing just under a minute after Tennis Dude, who finished in 5th with a time of 1:57.38. GG's. And Plumeria will be coming in for an interview here shortly. And Xenophon's about to gonna get their boss key shortly and be on the way up the tower. And there's the boss key for Xenophon, just under the 2-hour mark. Yeah, he is. Xenophon is continuing up, continuing the left side of Ganon's tower. Okay, just getting a key. I was wondering what they were doing here. Um. And I want Maria to join us. We do have a 7th finisher. Sigma was finishing at the time of 2:01:14. Xenophon now climbing the tower. Hello. Mary Knight is okay. Mary Knight should be joining us here shortly, I think. Getting the mic set up. As we have Xenophon here taking on Landmost 2. It's the 3rd one down for Xenophon. It's going to be continuing on here in the tower.
Looks like we do have Chimerian Knights in right now. GG's.
Yeah, GG's Plumeria Knight.
Once once I see some a little bit of activity, but
This is Xenophon. Xenophon is climbing up Ganon's tower right now. Depending on how they fare on Ganon, might be done in the next 10 minutes. Kind of depends. The stream also seems to be frozen right now for me.
I second that as well.
Okay, their personal stream seems to be fine. Just pulled up to make sure they hadn't suffered an internet crash or something.
Yeah, I double checked that as well. They they are looking good as well over on the personal side of the stream.
Yeah, it depends on their silverless Ganon ability. It does have Tempered Sword, but no silvers, and they're newer runners, so we'll see how they fare.
Yeah, no worries about pronouns. I know I've goofed once a couple times here and there during the stream. Pronouns can be kind of hard.
We're trying to get that back online now.
Sorry about the stream issues. On his personal stream zone, their personal stream zone, Font has dropped down to canon now. Okay, and okay, there they are now back. All right, maybe. Still seems to be frozen on restream. In the meantime, though, give our runners a follow here. Matt7898, Sonaphon, Ploy, and Plumeria Knight. And also follow my co-com here, Professor Renderer, and our tracker Serio X and Validity. And join our Discord.
Definitely join our community if you're coming in time and seeing this race first time. Definitely join our community.
I'm sure there's a command for ALTTP. I just don't know what it is offhand. And yes, we are back as Xenophon drops out to cannon. And we'll see how they fare with Tempered Sword Silverless Cannon here. Okay, that's the command. Daily whilst. Thank you, Maddie Walker, for putting in the command. Xenophon has so far been having a fairly clean Ganon fight. Alright, and Plumeria Knight is having some mic issues, so it's just decided to join us in Twitch chat here, so no problem about the mic issues. GG's Plumeria, very well played, and congrats on taking third on Restream on your first ever race. Third on Restream, 6th overall, and sub 2 as well. GG's, well played.
Yeah, very well played from Plumeria Knights, coming in with a sub 2 there.
Yeah, first race if I had to play LTP for a while now. Yeah, it shows because you were playing very well throughout the seed. Pretty well executed and well routed. Steed was just kind of trolling you. It was a little unfortunate that you left Death Mountain after getting your hookshot out of Treasure Rock, because it took you a little longer to find that ice rod that way. Because you did find the flute before both Matt and Koi on Restream. Yeah, if I hadn't taken the safety door, yeah, I don't think there was... yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Alright, GG's in the chat for Xenophon, taking 4th on the Restream with an official racetime.gg time of 2:10:16.
Love it, Tiana. Okay.
What a way to end! What a way to end that off.
Okay, that can be a scare. Okay, but yeah, GG's. Xenophon being the last of our runners on Restream to finish. Not dying Ganon, pretty nice fight there, and we have Xenophon joining us in the interview booth. GG's.
Hi.
GG.
Hi. Oh.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yep, we can hear you just fine. So, walk us through the seed.
It's fine. I routed well and I played poorly.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens. You played pretty well.
I didn't. I died to.
You routed fairly well, sorry. Yeah, not supporting. Yeah, the Vitreous deaths were a bit unfortunate. Pretty nice Tempered Sword Silverless Cannon, though.
I mean, I've been playing the game for 3 years, so I'd hope I can do that at least.
Yeah, do you want to know where your silver arrows were?
Well, let me see. They were at. Bombos tablet.
Your bow. No, your one of your male upgrades was Bombo's tablet.
Oh, okay. Well, and I guess it was Mad Batter, and I could have gone it by doing fake powder.
No, couple runners did that. It was King's Tomb was your silvers.
Oh, I would have never gone it then. Okay.
Yep. Oh, cool.
Yep.
Then where were the boots?
Swamp Compass, I think, was the chest.
Okay. So, yeah. Okay.
One where you run in a circle to fetch a block.
Yep.
Plumeria and I asking a question. No one on Restream got the boots from Swamp before doing Dark Death Mountain. Everyone waited for Hookshot to go Swamp. Shoutouts to that double dip of TR. That was fun. Go halfway through TR, pick up your Hookshot out of the Crystal Roller, leave, go get your Ice Rod off Hookshot Cave, and then come back.
Well, I hope nobody actually did that, and yeah, because that would be if you actually just stopped when you got the hook shot and then went straight to Hookshot Cave and found the ice rod, I would have some questions.
Everyone on Restream went all the way to Laser Bridge before leaving.
That will be a good this will be a good test seat to if you suspected somebody of cheating.
To put it immediately after Hookshot. Yeah.
But I routed well and I played pretty poorly compared to the seed I had done like 10 minutes prior to starting this one.
As it turns out, so you and Plumeria and I on Restream were got flute pretty early, but took longer to get up to the mountain and whatnot. I think there might have also been a bit of an execution difference. But they took much longer to find flute. Flute was their go mode. Whereas it was Ice Rod. Ice Rod for you and Plumeria.
Yep. Like I said, if I had played that well, I probably would have not placed last.
Place still isn't too bad. Hook was Roller Room Floppy Bacon saying, who was our second place finisher, saying, to be fair, I almost ended up doing that because I forgot to check Supercut in case left here after Roller Room, but I think, yeah. So you're left and come back at that point. Ice Rod was the bottom chest of Hookshot Cave, which you can get with boots, but that would have required a double dip of Swamp, which is even lousier than the double dip of TR, I think. No good choices there. What do you think of the seed overall, though?
I thought it was fine. It was interesting. It's beatable, so you're guaranteed usually to have crappy equipment for most of it. I felt felt like it was fine. I enjoyed the way that you had to dip to the rock in this one. That's about it.
Didn't seem that beatable only. Never generally get locked out of anywhere. Oh yeah, your gold sword was desert, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
Locked behind
gold
those
sword
boots.
doesn't make much of a difference anymore, but
No, I don't think so. But yeah, that's what that was.
So I guess we should probably start closing this off too. Right now, should we?
Yeah, I'm kind of low on questions initially for Zone of Fun. Does chat have any questions? Otherwise, yeah, I'm pretty low on questions. It's getting kind of late.
Yeah. Gonna get lit over here, over here as well. Heesh. But that should do it for our restream for today. Coming up tomorrow for the Daily Race series, we do have Casual Boots, being Sword Assured Standard Mode with boots at the start of the game. That will happen on 2 p.m. on August 7th, which is in just about a couple hours, give or take like times and such. So, if you want to follow all of our runners, please do so. We had Matt7898, Plumerian Knight, Koi, and Zelnafon as our runners here for the entertainment purposes. Thanks to trackers Valinity and Serio X. And my co-com is Star1468, and I'm Professor Render. Give us a follow as well. Until then, take care, everybody, and hope to see you for tomorrow's match.
Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Take it easy.